Hi my friends, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video course is called All English Grammar You Need in 30 Minutes. Really, we have little free time and I hope that we are ready to know the most important English grammar which you really need. Okay, so what do you need to know first of all? I suppose that first of all you need to know simple tenses, right? We call these tenses simple. What are these tenses? First of all, it's present simple, the most important tense. So we use it when we talk about the present. Secondly, it's past simple. We often use it when we talk about something in the past. And one more very important tense, which is called future simple. Okay? So I hope that you remember how you form this tense, okay? Let me give you an example. Okay, and so we need to open the brackets. Okay, so it's really about all English grammar you really need. Let's say it in present simple first. Yeah, if we are talking, so you need to open the brackets. It's a very useful exercise indeed. So when you open the brackets, so let's say it in present simple first. Okay, and let's remember how we do it. So you know that we use verb or verb plus s. Okay, when do we use s? When it's he, she or it. So we have I and it will be the same. And we'll say I learn English very intensively. I learn English very intensively. Okay? So one more example, yeah, for more practice. You know that it's very important to have as much practice as possible. Okay, so she improve her skills. Okay, so improve, it's, you know, when it's getting better, when it's becoming better. Okay, let's say it in present simple. Yeah, first of all, yeah, you know, we are working with this tense. So we look at she and we see. So she, we need to add s. Please don't forget about this. Very simple, but at the same time very important rule. And we need to say, so she improves her skills. She improves her skills. Okay, very good. So let's look at the second tense, yeah? And we call this tense past simple. It's what you really need to know. So really open, you know, open the brackets and say it in past simple. How do we form this tense? You know that you need to use the second form. You need to use the second form. So the question is, so the verb is regular or irregular, maybe yes, maybe no. Really, what kind of verb is it? Regular or irregular? Who knows? So if I write or if I type, yeah, these forms, is it correct or not? Or maybe these forms, is it right or wrong? Who knows? So actually, so which actually, I mean, variant are you choosing? So really, what's your choice? in fact, you need to know that this verb can be regular and irregular. So it's correct, and it's also correct. So it's an exception. You know that there are lots of exceptions in English, and you just need to remember, yeah, so this verb can be regular or irregular, so you can say learned or learned, it's okay. And so let's try, yeah, to say it correctly in past simple. So I learned English very intensively. Good, very good. Or I learned, it's also possible. Yeah, so let's look at the second sentence. She improved her skills. So she, we need to use the second form. And you know that there is a very important rule for regular verbs. So you have ed at the end of this word, ed. So you see e, and so this verb is irregular, and you need to add d, and so you'll see she improved her skills. So this verb is regular, and as a rule we have ed in all regular verbs. We see it. Okay, so very good. So we have looked at past simple. You see, so you need to focus on regular verbs, verb plus ed. So if this verb isn't regular or irregular verbs, so what do you need to do with them? You need to remember, or there is another very good verb, yeah, which has a similar meaning. It means memorize, yeah. So you need to memorize these verbs, or you need to remember these irregular verbs. And basically, so when actually we talk about past simple, you need to use the second form. Yeah, if actually it's about this verb, yeah, it's an exception. So this verb can be regular or irregular. So learned, or learned. It's correct too. Yeah, and so you see, I learn English very intensively, and she improved her skills. Okay, very good, my friends. Well done. And so let's look at future simple. This tense is also of great importance, and let's try to form these sentences in future simple. You know the rule. So will plus verb, yeah, for he, she, it, for everything. Okay, so let's say it. I will learn, right? So we put will before a verb. So learn is a verb, and we put will. So I will learn English very intensively. I will learn English very intensively. And let's look at the second sentence. Yeah. So she will improve her skills. She will improve her skills. So will plus verb. You know that if we look at the reality, so in practice we often use short forms. So it's okay if you say I'll learn, yeah, I'll learn English very intensively, or she'll. It's okay. So these things are very common, yeah, among native speakers of English. Okay, very good. Right, you see it, will plus verb. So I will learn English very intensively. She will improve her skills. Very good. And so you may think that you know everything about these tenses. So present simple, past simple, and future simple, because it's very, very clear for you, or as you know, as they say, crystal clear, yeah. But in fact, it isn't. So there is another situation which you also need to take into account. So it's present simple, yeah, but it's the first situation, past simple the first situation, and future simple the first situation. So it's very important to know the second situation. Okay, let's have a look, yeah, let's have a look at what actually we are talking about, or at what we mean. Yeah, so there is the second situation, and you have two sentences again, yeah. So let's look at these sentences. So busy, and when I ask students, or when someone asks students, so how do we form present simple, so we often hear only this version, so verb or verb plus s. But in fact, it can be another structure, or it can be another combination of words. Look at this situation, for example. The problem is that if you look at these simple tenses, the first situation, so you have a verb, yeah, in all these examples, yes. And if you look at this situation, so you don't have a verb, it's the second very big situation. You don't have a verb. So you know that busy isn't a verb. So busy, you know, busy isn't a verb. It's an adjective. It isn't a verb. And how will you say it? And you need to know that if we are talking about present simple, you need to use the form of to be. So am, is, or are. So, and you also know that we say I am, he, she, it is, and we say we, you, they are. And if we look at this sentence, yeah, so he busy, so you need to do the same. So the task is the same. You need to open the brackets and say it in all these tenses. So it's a very important thing. Okay, so and we look at he, yeah, we look at he, so we say he is, and as a result you see he is busy. Okay, one more important thing, and so I think it's better, you know, to have more practice, and you'll support my idea if we add, you know, one more sentence for practice. Yeah, the more practice the better. So I satisfied with my result. Okay, so what part of speech is it? Satisfied. Okay, so you know that if it's ed, it doesn't mean that it's a verb, it's an adjective. So satisfied is an adjective in English. You don't have a verb. Yeah, you don't have a verb here, yeah, again, and you need to use the form of to be. And you will say I am satisfied. I am satisfied with my result. I am satisfied with my result. So it can be a full form, he is busy, but you know that in reality we often hear a short form. So he's busy. Look, or listen, he is busy and he's busy. So compare. I am satisfied with my result, and I'm satisfied with my result. Yeah, so you need to know it. Yeah, okay, very good, my friend. And let's do the same with past simple. So it's the most important grammar. So let's do the same with past simple. Let's open the brackets. So you know that if we look at the first situation, yeah, actually you see that you need to use the second form here, and there is only one variant, or there is only one option. Yeah, so and you need to remember it for I, he, she, it. But if it's about the verb to be, it's another story. You need to understand that if it's about the verb to be, yeah, so you need to use was or were. And so the question is, when do we use was and when do we use were? Okay, when I was, what else? He was, she was, it was, we were, you were, they were. Okay, and you see, he busy, so I, he, she, it was, and we'll say he was or were. He was busy. He was busy. Really, it's very, very important. Yeah, and so the second example, so we can't ignore it. We can't ignore it. So it's for more practice, for more progress, yeah, as you might guess. So I satisfied with my result. So we need the form of to be. I, he, she, it was. So we say was. I was satisfied with my result. I was satisfied with my result. So you see, it's about past simple, and so if we don't have a verb, so we have to be, we use was or were. So I, he, she, it was, we, they were. And so you see, he was busy, I was satisfied with my result. Very good. So what about future simple with the verb to be? So what about it? Okay, so actually the rule is the same. So if you remember, yeah, of this thing, yeah, so future simple will plus verb, so we have absolutely the same rule. So if we have to be, so absolutely the same, because the verb is to be. Okay, let's say it, or let's try to say it. He will and verb. So the verb is to be. He will be busy. He will be busy. I, so you need will plus be. So will plus be. In other words, so it's will plus verb or will be. Will be. I will be satisfied. I will be satisfied with my result. I'll be satisfied with my result, yeah? So you know that you can also use short forms, no problem. So he'll be busy, or I'll be satisfied with my result. Okay, my friends, so this information is extremely important. So the problem is that most students know only about the first situation, and they don't understand that the second situation also exists. Okay, and we don't have only theory, we have practice, and it's really very important, yeah? My friends, it's the first very important part, so you need to know simple tenses, yeah? But much more than simple tenses, you also need to know modal verbs. Modal verbs. What I'm talking about? I'm talking about the following that you need to know: can, could, should, must. Yeah, you need to know these things, yeah, first of all. Okay, so for example, you can say I can speak English. Is it correct or not? So let's try to open the brackets, yeah. So she can sing professionally, or she can sing very beautifully. Okay, let's try to open the brackets. So the rule is, so it doesn't matter what it is, can, could, should, or must, yeah? So you add a verb without to, yeah? So if you want to open the brackets, yeah, it will be the same. So I can speak English. I can speak English. She can sing very beautifully. Yeah, so can plus verb. What other things do you need to know? Would plus verb. Yeah, and you also need to remember need. So if you have need, we use to. Need to plus verb. And have to plus verb. Yeah, please remember it. And there are two very important modal verbs, yeah. So may and might. Please also remember it. Okay, so I think that it's time to do one very important exercise. Okay? Okay, let's do the following. So you have a sentence, this sentence. Do it right now. So I think that if you really want to understand this information, you need to have practice. If you don't have practice, I think it's impossible to learn it. And let's, try to say this sentence with all modal verbs, yeah, which you know, okay? So I think really this exercise is extremely important. Maybe just we'll need more space. I mean that, so you also need to keep in mind this information, yeah? And let's try to say it. So in fact, you can choose any sentence and actually form different sentences with all these modal verbs, yeah? So it's very, very important. Well, so let's try to say it. So I can do it right now. Well done. Let's say it with could. I could do it right now. Well done. Let's say it with should. I should do it right now. What about must? I must do it right now. What about would? I would do it. I would do it right now. It means that it's possible. It's possible for me, and it's possible for me to do it. I would do it. May. I may do it right now. It means maybe I'll do it. Or you can use might. You know that we often hear may or might. So I might do it right now. And two more very important verbs: need. So you need to say it with need and have to. The problem is that many students forget about to, but please don't do it, yeah? So I need to do it. I need to do it right now, and I have to do it right now. Have to do it right now, okay? So this information is very important, my friends. So you can, choose a certain sentence and do the same with all these modal verbs. So this exercise is extremely useful. So you can choose, you can find a sentence. It can be you know, a simple sentence or a more difficult sentence. So when you have a verb, yeah, please do the same exercise. It's better to choose minimum, two sentences. And the second situation when you don't have a verb. So, and if we're talking about modal verbs, yeah, so you need to do absolutely the same. You need to do absolutely the same. Right, and so the more practice the better. Okay, what else do you need to know? Yeah, so you also need to know about present continuous. So this thing is extremely important. Yeah, we can't ignore it. Okay, so it's for present, but for present which is happening now. Okay, for example, just let's open the brackets. And how will you say it in present continuous? Yeah, to say it, you need, you know, to remember how we form this tense. So am is are plus verb plus ing. And you'll say, I am listening to you. So it means that it's now at the moment. Yeah, I am listening to you. But you know that in reality, so we mostly use short forms. And I believe that it's more natural to say I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you. Okay, one more example. Okay, so she stay there. Let's say it in present continuous. So she, he, she, it is. I am, we, you, they are. So and you actually say she is staying. She is staying there. Okay, it's about present continuous. Okay, what else? So present continuous is for present which is now. Am is are plus verb plus ing. So, and you see these examples. I'm listening to you, I'm listening, or I'm listening to you. It's a short form. And she is staying there, or it can be full form. She is staying there. Okay, next, you also need to be actually familiar with passive voice. Passive voice, what is it? Passive voice. Okay, let me give you an example. So please open the brackets. Yeah, so you need to open the brackets. You use passive voice. It's when it's done by someone. When it's done by someone or something. When it's done by someone or something. And so we mostly meet passive voice present simple. Passive voice present simple. So okay, do you know how to say it? So you need the form of to be. Am is are plus the third form. Plus the third form. Okay, or yeah, or it can be, it's better actually to have this thing in brackets. So it, if it's it, we see it is. And the third form of make, you know that, so make, this verb is irregular. So make, made, made, we need it. So it is made in China. It's made in China. Or for example, yeah, one more example. So it, so produce in Italy. Okay, so how will you say it? So the same thing. So it is, and the third form of produce. This verb is regular. So you know, if this verb is regular, so you have produced and produce. It's the same. The second form is the same as the third form. Yeah, and so you'll actually say it is produced in Italy. Okay, very good, my friends. So passive voice. So when it's done by someone or something, yeah, passive voice present simple. So am is are plus the third form. And you see that make is an irregular verb. So you say, yeah, and in contrast to produce, which is actually irregular. Yeah, this verb is regular. It is made in China and it is produced in Italy. Yeah, my friends, and one more very important thing. Right, there is also a rule of two verbs. A rule of two verbs. What is it? So is it correct or not? So to say it. So he wants tell you this thing. So is it correct or not? So in fact, it isn't correct, because you know we often actually have this structure verb plus to plus verb, so you need to put to between two verbs. Yeah, he wants to actually tell you these thing. Yeah, please, you know, keep in mind this structure too. Thank you.